Hi, I'm Quinto from SKnote. This is a quick video to show you how I'm used to use our A25 compressor, which is a model of one of the most famous stereo hardware compressors, to add a little bit of the so-called glue to a mix. In this example, which requires quite strong and clean drums, and which includes sample drums, I'm going to try to use the compressor to add a little bit of glue and artificial room to the sound of the drums. You can hear how these drums sound not so natural and really clean, so probably they don't sound so they sound a little bit too separated from the other instruments in the mix. For this example, I'm going to try some extreme settings on the compressor, which is put on the drums group. So I start with some strong compression. I'm used to use to keep AutoGain always engaged, so you can see it takes care of keeping the input and output levels matched all the time, so I'm not fooled by levels. I start by setting an extreme compression and a very strong ratio. To get some room out of the drums, I use a extremely short attack time to remove the attack entirely, and this is how I'm used to think when setting the release. I set it to the fastest value, then I increase it a little bit slowly until I feel the release is following the natural tail of the sound of the input. If the release is too slow, you get dry compression. If it is too fast, it sounds more blatant, but not so natural. It's not really increasing the duration of the tails. So this is the setting I like for that. Extremely fast attack. My favorite release setting for this example to get long tails. Okay, and here you can easily hear the effect of the link setting. If I set it to the maximum and the filter in the sidechain in the stereo link system is set to flat, so normal, like you find in a lot of compressors, you can easily hear the difference between no link, so the stereo image is completely destroyed but you get more width, or completely linked, so you retain the stereo image but you don't actually add any width to the stereo image. You have a few interesting options in this compressor which are not related to the spectrum of the signal but to the timing of the link. So high, without, and with, flat again, high, and low. No link, flat, high, low. Band is a mix of low and high, and usually is the one that can be heard the least. I set it to low because it somehow retains the stereo image on the low range of the spectrum, but adds a little bit of stereo width. Talking about the knee, this is the shape of the compression curve. I like it hard in this example because it has the strongest sound. The sidechain is special in this compressor. You have the usual one, and in place of the usual high-pass filter you find so often, you have two shapes that cover the whole spectrum. This is similar to a loudness contour. This is like a little bit less than this one. This one is special. I keep it flat in this example. This compressor is actually two different compressors in one, because it can work as a feed-forward, like modern style of compression, or feedback. See how the AutoGain is taking care of keeping the levels matched. Also when I switch between feedback and feed-forward. I like the feedback for this example. So at this point I have a too strong setting for the compressor. The original signal retains all the peaks, the attacks, and the dynamics of the signal, the drums. My setting instead is like an artificial room. Okay. Now I use the internal sample-aligned dry-wet mix stage to morph between the original and my setting, whose effect I increase, okay, like this. So I choose something I like from dry. I like it like this. I don't forget the style of the song, which requires strong and clean drums, and go a step back from my setting. I'm used to do like this. I choose and just a little bit back. Let's listen to it in the song.